Livestream demonstration. Just before the market open, we are just about 5 minutes to the market open, so we're about 9:24 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning, Ren. Ren Vallow here with me as always. How are you, Ren?
Good morning, Mark. Good. I'm doing really well. We had a good session yesterday, ran the model all day long, and it was pretty active.
Yeah, we had a great session yesterday.
Yeah, incredible. You don't see, like you said, you don't see those markets every day.
Yeah, I remember. I looked at it the first thing my time this morning, and I emailed you, and we were about 320 points higher than we were at the start of the session, which was the open yesterday,
Yep.
which was not what I expected, I must admit.
Same. We had a downtrending market when we opened up, just like this.
Mm.
It almost looked identical to what we're looking at today.
Yes. So showing you the there we go. A little bit behind. I don't know why. A little bit behind time, but there we go. Back onto the front. We've had a little bit of a downtrending market, as you say. We actually reached a peak at the roughly the open in over here in Europe, and then we've declined since then over the past 5 hours or so. And both the market and the strategy have declined. But I think you pointed out yesterday that this strategy, which is only a demonstration strategy, has declined at what appears to be a slower rate than the underlying market.
Yeah, it definitely it smooths out the P&L so that you're not getting the same volatility that the market has.
Mm.
On the way up, you benefit quite a bit, so you don't miss out so much on the upside either. I was watching it yesterday, just as the trading day was going through, and it just basically did as well as the market. And when the market would pull back, it would just keep you from losing more. So it works pretty well. And I think that the time stop that we added in really helped for this 1 minute model.
Yeah, and I think the optimization that we've done has been usually live, and it's really just to reacting to the current day's situation. So there's a lot more detailed work that could be done on that, but really what we're just trying to do is just react to, if we've got a very fast moving market, we may not need to hold open for as long. And if we've got a pretty slow, lazy market, but trending upwards, then we can let the profits accumulate. So, yeah.
And if you look at our profits for I don't know if you have been watching on this particular sheet, on the place order sheet, you can actually see what our paper account, what we have in it, has moved up quite a bit since yesterday.
Good, well done. Yeah, well done. Pleased about that. So I'm just going to I'm going to enable the sheet. This is something that you need to do every day. Just to remind you that this sheet is available. It's a free download. There's a link below the video. So check it out. You can link it up to the Rhythmic software, which I've done today and which we're demonstrating today. So what you need to do before you start your day's trading is to just press Control E, like I'm doing there. And if you can see here on the spreadsheet, I'll make it a bit bigger. What we've done is we've enabled the spreadsheet. That means it will enable it, excuse me, means that it is able to open and close trades in the market. So just to give you a quick recap, we're 3 minutes before the market bell. We've got a trade that was taken about exactly 30 minutes ago, and that trade has literally just closed. So that was closed by our time close, and small net profit for that trade. So we are flat going into the market session. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so basically we're just waiting to take our first trade of the day.
Yep. And I'm looking at the Rhythmic chart here, and I can see we've just over a minute to go before the open. We've taken out the recent highs and just pulling back here, and we're going to get a flood of orders into the market soon. We've got a long weekend coming up. So we are basically, as you said yesterday, Ren, we're on a Friday now. Let's be interesting. We're on options expiry date today. So that will bring some more interest into the markets. We're going to get a bit higher volume, I expect, and maybe a bit more volatility.
Yep, yeah, that's typical for options expiration Fridays, and yeah, so this looks very similar to yesterday's open. They're just going to maybe they push the replay button.
Yeah, well, actually, yesterday's looked worse. Yesterday
Well,
really did
it's
look.
actually
I'm sure I said that we were going to take out the lows, and we never did. So hopefully nobody was waiting for those lows before entering a trade, because we never did. We were up 320 points by 8 a.m. this morning in the UK. Just about to hear the opening bell, and we're just pulling back slightly. We've closed our trade that was taken about half an hour ago, so yeah, made a decent little profit there. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see if we can take another trade. That'd be great. A little pullback here, and then another move higher would be what we need, right?
Yeah, what we want to see is another trade. Whether it's a winner or a loser, it doesn't matter. We're just establishing the principle. We're getting quite into this trading strategy, but it is only a demonstration. We're running it on a demo account here, and we're running it so that people can see what this spreadsheet and connection to the markets can do. It's run using Excel, so very easy to modify, very easy to run all your own analysis on.
Yeah, and yesterday, Mark, we had a guest ask us about the Indian markets, and I was looking at our subscription to Rhythmic. We don't subscribe to any of those markets. Well, we do the CME. We do subscribe to the CME, so we've got that, and they do support all the world currencies in futures. So you could do the currency, but as far as the Indian markets go, you'd have to subscribe to a different package at Rhythmic to get that.
But Rhythmic do offer that as a data package.
It looks like they have a variety of world products, yes, all for the futures, yes. Yeah. So they do
okay, good. So I wonder if I'm able to access it today. My internet connection is a lot better. Apologies for anybody who's on the live stream that was on it yesterday. I was running that through my mobile. So today I'm running it through vastly improved internet connection. So we've had a small,
lot better.
Small, thank you. We've had a small pullback, and we are off. And let's see what happens.
And here's a great example, also of how it smooths out your P&L. Look, we have this pullback, and you can see it in the underlying market. But if you look at our P&L chart, we didn't pull back at all. We have a tiny little pullback, comparing. So it definitely does smooth out the P&L, and you don't miss out on the up moves because. Again, you can see how it mirrors on the upside, but on the downside, it stair steps you a little bit smoother down. You still lose money, but you're not losing it nearly as fast as the rest of the market.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no reason why we couldn't introduce a short strategy.
Yeah, and that's something you and I have to think about going forward. For even this sheet here, very minor modification for us to do that.
Yeah, it would be good to demonstrate some short trades as well. Whether we've had the market conditions for it. We've just, I don't know if you saw that, Ren, but we've just taken a trade.
Excellent.
I can go to here. This is our position, and you can see here that it's just opened.
So let's take a look at our place orders sheet and see if it populated over there.
And there you go.
Yep, there we have it. So. And you'll start to see the P&L as the market moves populate in here as well. And this sheet's a good one. I just use this place order sheet to put whatever I want to see on. Like you could change that inside that blue box. You can just add whatever you want to see from the other sheets. So I kind of just we just map stuff in there.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's coming back to the idea that Excel is so flexible. You can do whatever you want with it. Put it on whichever sheet. You can set it up the way you like it. Obviously, we'll set it up to give you all the analytical tools, give you access to the technical indicators and things like that you need to make your trade, and explain how to use it. But after that, people can just take these away and customize them as much as they want. Different markets, different strategies, different time frames.
Yes.
Highly flexible.
One of the things, that's one of the things we did here was just link all of the different fields that we want to see from different sheets. Because I guess there's like, how many? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 7 or 8 sheets running at once. So it's kind of good to consolidate, aggregate all of the data you want to see on one sheet. So when I was running it yesterday, I focused on basically only 3 sheets. I looked at this sheet, the place orders. and I would go and check out the backtest
Mm-hmm.
tab occasionally just to verify that everything was syncing up properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the results page, which I spend time on, just watching the results page. So those three sheets are kind of on this particular demo, the three that I used all day just to monitor it yesterday to make sure it was properly executing the orders and everything.
Yeah, that's right. They're the key ones, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, the results tab to take an overall view of the strategy performance. You've got a lot of control over the strategy inputs, although you would tend to use those before the market has opened. We don't recommend playing with those while you're trading actually live. The whole purpose of this is to set it, optimize it, get it right for the day, and then let it do its thing. Really, you can just set it and forget it. Obviously, what we're doing today is keeping an eye on it, make sure it's doing what we want it to do. But this tab is really for monitoring and setting your inputs and backtesting before the markets have even opened. You mentioned the backtest tab. I'm showing that now, Ren. It's giving you a bar by bar update on how the moving average is and the current trading condition. Showing here that the trades moved slightly into profit. And you can just check as well, like you said, that we're on the most recent bar. So 2:35 p.m. my time, which is 9:35 a.m. Eastern time. And you can see we're up to date here. I'll go back to the place orders chart. So I'm just having a look at the rhythmic chart. We put in a big candle there.
Yeah.
Popped right up, and we are getting volatility. We knew we would do.
Yep. Yeah, some volatility. And there you can see where the P&L is populating on this sheet as well. So you can get an idea. So this is kind of like the main sheet that I left it sit on, and then I'd flip back and forth between those two other sheets, just occasionally to double check, make sure everything's running smoothly. And it was all day long yesterday. It was a good test, because right after we closed down our live stream, I decided, hey, I'm just going to run this and go.
Yeah. And it's hopefully we're going to get a bit of a continuation from that as well. I mean, it seems likely to me, in all honesty. Yeah. Notwithstanding whatever happens with the options expiry, that might cause some volatility, but it seems likely. Odds are slightly in favour of a decent day again today, a higher close, but let's see what happens. We're absorbing orders at the moment, so we get volatility. We've talked on a number of occasions about maybe it's not the best time to actually run this strategy, but in fact, it's done pretty well.
It seems to do reasonably well through the volatility. It gives you, I mean, you wouldn't want to be trading it by hand, that's for sure, but
no.
It definitely does give you the opportunity to do it if you had to. If you had a strategy that worked, especially for the opening bell, this would be a way to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that do like day trading by hand, and fair play to them. But if you're getting down to the 1 minute time frames, you will need some pretty quick reactions, and this will be quicker than you, and it will be less emotional than most people as well. So set your strategy, decide how you're going to play, whatever happens, and it will do it for you.
Yeah, I'm looking at the markets here. It looks like the S&P 500 is in a steady uptrend for the morning. And the NASDAQ's got a little bit of chop going on. So there's a little bit more volatility for the NASDAQ today.
Yeah, the interesting, I haven't seen the S&P just this morning, but the S&P had a really strong day yesterday.
It did, yeah.
Opened near the lows, finished near the highs. I think I'm pretty safe to say we're going to take out that low today, but
so it looks like
wrong yesterday. So
probably, I wonder if this particular trade's probably not going to be a successful trade. Yesterday we were running. I promised to send you a report, and I ended up closing it down. I got tired yesterday, but this 1 minute strategy did about 70% on the trades that were successful.
Super.
From opening bell to the closing bell, about 70%.
And this strategy doesn't need 70% winning trades, so a bit higher than 50% should be around break even, and then much higher than that, and you're starting to get into profit. So
so I think we had a very
excellent for this strategy.
Good day. Yeah, it was a very good day yesterday for this particular strategy. Unusually good because, like you said, we really don't expect to get 70% out of it. And it was, that's why I wanted to send it to you, and I just totally like forgot to send it yesterday. But you can see it back in the Rhythmic. Also, the one nice thing is Rhythmic records all of the trades like as if you had actually placed them through the markets, which is nice. You can go back and view them.
Yeah. Well, anybody watching this on the live stream, feel free to answer any to ask any questions of Ren or myself, and we'd be happy to answer them. Just as we're seeing the market take out that lows, I was right today.
Yep.
I can change Rhythmic to show slightly more data. So this is the downtrend really we've been talking about. And yeah, we are taking out those lows, but at least we got into a trade. We've demonstrated what it can do. We're always going to get losing trades in any strategy. So let's see where we go. Doesn't massively surprise me we've taken out those lows, but I hope we can get a decent upward trend established at some point.
Yeah, just anything to give us an adjustment here. Yeah, so we're looking at closing this trade for a loss, it looks like. Very soon, right?
Yeah, so 14165. Yeah, we're pretty close to that. Yeah, so we're likely to close this one for a loss, but it gives us another chance. So we're going to get some action today. That is one thing. On the 1 minute bars, we get action all the time. So if you're one of those traders that likes to be in the market a lot, likes to take these moves, you like to plan the strategies, but don't necessarily want to be chained to your desk, this is a good option. Programming it in Excel, very accessible, and then letting it run. So we've just had a fill saying we've sold. Ren?
And that was our stop loss, I guess we hit, right?
That was a stop loss trade, yeah. It was profitable at one stage, but we've gone down since then. And let's see if we can open another long trade at some point.
Well, it worked the way we wanted it to work. It keeps us out of trouble in case the market were to plunge lower from here.
Yeah, and what we've had as well, yesterday we had an example of bad internet, which can happen to just about anybody, but it was particularly bad yesterday because we were running it through a mobile connection. Today we've got steady, fast internet connection, and although the latency isn't perfect because my computer is still a long way away from where these trades are being executed, it's still pretty good. Pretty good for most circumstances. And Ren, perhaps you can say the way that you actually run your trades using a VPS.
Right. So I use this very similar setup. It's not exactly like what we have here today, but in real trading, I have a virtual private server that's located in Chicago. So in the event that we have like a service outage, like Mark experienced yesterday, which absolutely does happen, your trading is not interrupted, and like just a simple cellular connection can get you to the point where you can log in, at least see what's happening. And that's always really good. And also having that VPS is really good to have for redundancy of power. You know, they've got all kinds of generators over there. They've got backup internet. So it gives you a little, if you're really trading this for in a live trading environment, or you decide to modify your sheet and go that route, you would want to do it inside of a virtual private server to be sure. That would be the best way to do it. Wouldn't be required, but it's definitely something to think about. When you have real money working, you want to have the best connections. And so yesterday, while we had a little bit of internet interruption, it wouldn't have interrupted your trading at all, which is good. And even still, I was so surprised that with all the different things we're streaming, we've got 2 different live streams running at once, and you've got the actual connection to the Chicago server, and it was still able to trade.
Yeah.
So that was incredible on its own. Because we had some really bad latency yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. But it still handled it. And if we'd been trading a slightly bigger time frame, larger time frame, it may not even have been such a huge issue. And the fact that we were simultaneously live streaming and connecting over Zoom and all that, but it may not have been an issue. In extremis, it could have easily done its job for a day if necessary, if there's a
Absolutely.
day that you needed to trade. But the best way to do it is a stable connection, and the best way to get that is probably through a VPS. It doesn't have to be located in Chicago, but if you want the fastest connection, lowest latency, that's a pretty good choice. I know, Ren, you're trading a much faster time frame than we're demonstrating here today, though.
Yeah, so it's a tick time frame, and so that you don't want to have any interruptions at all. So that's definitely the better way to go. Like you said, like if you're doing a longer time frame, like the 15-minute to an hour time frame, or even a daily time frame, you're not too concerned. I would only be concerned in a full-on power outage at your house. That would be the one thing that if you were at work and this thing was running at your house and there was a power outage, that would be my only worry. If I was doing a longer time frame, but absolutely. Doesn't matter about your latency if you're trading a longer time frame. I would say at 15 minutes, your fills are still going to be better than a human could get.
Yeah.
Like I would say, even yesterday with the latency we had, it was trading faster than I would, be able to hit the hotkeys on my screen. So.
Yeah, I'm sure that's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, this is in no way needs to be traded on the 1 minute time frame. We're doing that today just to get some interest for this live stream and to demonstrate the process. 5 minute, 15-minute would be fine, and a slower would be, no problems at all. If you're looking at the hourly, 4 hourly, or a made-up time frame, 2 hour, 15-minute time frame, it would be absolutely fine. In fact, even the daily time frame, if you wanted to, you don't want to take the responsibility of knowing exactly when to enter, even though you're only trading, say, at the close or around the open. You can use this sort of system. You can use this system to do that.
Yep, exactly. One of the things, like on the smaller time frames, like the tick time frame, you can start doing stuff like the bid-ask spread type trading, which is a little different than this type of trading. It's not based off the moving averages or anything like that. So, but yeah, with this type of trading is perfect for these strategies and the backtest model. Those kinds of things. This is a really, really good marriage of two things. You have one-stop shop where you can do all of your back testing and all of your live trading automation in one spot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one-stop shop. Yeah, and back testing, trading, strategy development, selecting indicators, optimizing, all the way through to implementing on whichever time frame you like. It's a one-stop shop. Exactly.
Yeah, and you've written a couple of books, Mark, on how to add indicators to your Excel sheets. So they're out there on Amazon and everything else. So people can actually, like, if they're not familiar with Excel, which a lot of people are, but if you're just learning Excel, you've written some really good books and you've got really good videos on how to add indicators to different sheets. So really, to modify what we have here is accessible to anybody. You don't have to be a programmer to do it.
No, exactly. No, a lot of it is just copying and pasting. And you don't have to program the indicator yourself. You just copy and paste it from a template, basically. And there's templates for all sorts of things, different strategies, different types of closes. We've already seen the stop loss in action. Things like that are either already built into the sheets or can easily be added.
Yes, exactly. And that's what's so cool about using Excel to do this, because the sky's the limit on what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I guess if your computer is processing, you put a ton of indicators in there if you've got a good computer.
Yeah, exactly. So, so we've had our volatility. We've had our, we've had 17 minutes of action so far. It's been mostly to the downside, but that's okay. Let's hope we get another trade. Just tickling those lows at the moment as we speak.
So now if we take a look at let's go back. I was going to say, let's take a look at the trading strategies P&L. As you can see, our P&L is flattened out because our strategy was taking the steps it was supposed to take to prevent losses. So it did that. And the underlying market, let's take a look at that too. Like, compare how something like this could perform for you. So you can see, like, the more volatility you would experience in the actual open market without these stops in place.
Yeah. And what this doesn't show as well is that what we've had in the underlying is a bit of a drift down. The overnight session sort of drifted down. I know we've seen a bit of a sharper move in the open. If we have a really sharp and sustained move to the downside, that's when you need your stops. That's when you need your strategy logic. You don't want to get caught on the wrong side of a move like that, which easily can happen with the NQ, the
Yep.
Nasdaq futures.
Yeah, they're not stable. That's why we like trading the NQ for our demonstrations. It's so volatile.
Mm. Yes, but we are going to, as promised previously, we are going to try some different markets. The E-minis, ES, S&P futures is definitely one that I like. But any other thoughts, Ren? Any other markets that you particularly like?
So yeah, the E-minis I think is a really good one to focus on. I tend to go there for my trading when the markets become too volatile and the down. When we
Mm,
have downtrending markets and it gets really volatile, I tend to switch over to the S&P 500, which is the E-minis, and
mm,
work with this. The spreads in those trades are more optimal for us, at less volatility, so it makes it possible. But generally speaking, what I've learned over the years is when the markets get really volatile, it's just best to step aside from the markets in general, unless you have a short strategy, which I don't have in place. I've never developed any that I really trust. So I've kind of just said, okay, well, I'm going to try to learn to take those days off when it
mm.
becomes really volatile.
Yeah, we haven't had we haven't had any bear markets really. We've had a
Right?
few. We've had some downturns. We had dear, excuse me. We had the COVID crash 2020. We had volatility, whatever it's called, in 2018. We've had, I can't remember now, 2015, 16. We had volatility then, but we've had nothing since 2008, 2009 that has been sustained over months and months of pretty relentless selling. And before that, it was the dot-com crash, and we're talking about 20 plus years ago now.
Yeah, so it doesn't give us a lot of data to work with, so we can develop a solid strategy and feel confident with.
Mm,
So we get the down markets seem to be quicker, more volatile, and then so like I'm hoping that's something we can do though going forward this year and in 2022. At least develop something that we can say, hey, this is not a bad idea. Maybe it's just the reverse of this strategy.
mm,
See how it performs in a nice down market. The things that I do in the day-to-day basis just don't perform well in down markets. The bid-ask spreads inside the futures contracts get too wide
mm.
for which seems like in my mind I always think is going to be an opportunity. But what happens is the trading becomes erratic. The bid-ask spreads widen out too much, and it ends up producing a lot more losing trades than winning trades. So it doesn't work out. I don't have that strategy, but something like this with a moving average or maybe an indicator, RSI, throwing that on top of it would be helpful. I don't know. So that's something we'll have to work on.
Yeah, when it becomes very volatile, it's a bit of a race to the bottom, isn't it? And raw
Yeah.
speed, the people with higher processing power and all that
Yep.
have probably get more of an advantage. We're not really talking about markets like that. We're not talking even on the 1 minute. It's probably not quite as important. But once you get to the 5, the 15, it's less important. The raw speed
Yep.
element of this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like the markets are just going into the still trending downward. So we're hitting lows on the day as we're chatting here.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a pretty definite move so far. I wouldn't say it's decided the whole day, but it's looking less positive than it did 15 minutes ago.
Well, I'll say.
Yeah.
Sometimes around the 8 o'clock hour my time, which is the 10 o'clock hour East Coast, we'll see some buying coming to the market. So maybe that'll give us another chance to execute a trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like we get that 7:30, the 9:30 in the morning opening bell volatility. Then there's a little bit of volatility around the next 30 minutes, as I guess they finish out closing those orders that they had gotten.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's not looking hugely positive, down 115 points at the moment, but that doesn't matter. What we've done it already, we've demonstrated one trade from the start of today. It was a losing trade, but you've got to be able to handle losing trades. Strategy and the system worked well for that. We may, if we get a little uptick, we may get another trade. Just to compare and contrast, I know it's not very big, but the trading strategy has now got a flat capital graph, and the underlying market is continuing to decline. So
Yep.
we're not going to enter another trade until we get an upturn.
So here's one for you, Mark. One of my friends had watched one of our streams and was saying that one of his theories of the market, and we did have to look at this, is that he's like, hey, you guys are doing the opening bell and you're talking about this. And he said, well, have you ever looked at the opening bell, like the opening of the markets and the close of the markets? He's like, he always feel his theory of the market is the way the market opens is the way the market closes. And like they have a similarity. They're not exactly the same, but the action is very similar. So that the last 30-minute, we'll just say the last hour is very similar to the first hour.
Yeah.
Something to reason.
I like that idea. Yeah. Was he saying that if the first half an hour goes up, the final half an hour will go up, or he was just saying there will be a matching element somewhere in that early period and the late period?
Like a commonality, like they're going to be very similar, so that the type of market that it is. So if it's like a choppy market in the morning, it's going to be a choppy end, and if it's a strong uptrend or strong downtrend, it'll be that way at the end of the market.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, so I think there's probably a lot.
Yeah, I was like, it would be something to research to see if the character really is similar between the morning and the afternoon.
I bet you'd find some fascinating stuff. Yeah, just looking at the 2 half-an-hour periods, I bet there would be some fascinating stuff. In fact, not wanting to get off topic too much because I'm talking about the daily time frame, but I've just been looking at days of the week. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos. I quite like seasonality. I think it's a really interesting way of looking at the markets. And I've looked at days of the month and days of the year. I've been looking at days of the week recently, and I found some cool stuff as well. And I think some of it might well be relevant to what we're doing here. It might help choose the right days. I've often suggested we do this. I know we're on a Thursday today. We do it on a Tuesday, particularly if we've had a bit of a sell-off, because very often we get a bit of a recovery on a Tuesday. If we've had a sell-off over the weekend and Monday's not done much, Tuesday can well be the time when we get the gains. Friday, there's a lot of stuff as well. In fact, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are historically the strongest 3 days on a close-to-close basis. I haven't looked open to close, which is we're doing in normal market hours, but on a close-to-close basis, they are historically a lot stronger. And Fridays, over a long period of time, have been almost just about break even.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's interesting. It's really interesting to see the character, how it works out like that. And it probably has to do with just order flows, like kind of like we're looking at the morning bell and the closing bell, the volatility. You've got the Monday market and the Friday market, the extra volatility. And then, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, everything's business as usual.
Yeah, I mean, you might think, it's nonsense looking at the day of the week, but people think differently on a Monday to what they do on a Friday, and people still control the markets.
Yeah,
never mind that people think about the algos and the bots, and partly that's what we're showing here today. There's still people controlling these decisions. There's still, there's still a rhythm to things. That's why I like this the yearly rhythms that change throughout the seasons, and the monthly rhythms, and within the week as well. And I bet you there's patterns like your friend was saying in the days as well.
Yeah, so he seems to see a pattern there during the day. The character of the market in the morning is similar to the character at the afternoon. So we'll have to see. I'll have to dig around do some research there.
Yeah, well, I look forward to seeing that research. I'll try and do some myself because I think that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you with the seasonality and the days of the week. There's definitely some stuff there for sure. So this tends to be, looking at the seasonality, this tends to be a strong period for the market. March, April, and May tend to be a little stronger. So we're in that. We should see some really good upmarket movements here. And then,
yeah, we should actually. I'm going to record a video. I'm planning to record a video quite soon about seasonal pattern. Actually, I mean that sell in May. There's a lot of evidence, at least if you look at the seasonal pattern, sell in May, which is a bit of a weaker period. The whole late spring, summer period, and not until we don't pick it up again strongly, really until October time.
Right, you get into late October, and then everything gets good again. It's like that the holiday seasons are coming. Everyone's in a good mood, I guess.
yeah, it's a long period of time. I mean, the markets still have tended upwards, but relatively they've just been a lot weaker. Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to get another trade. I'm looking here. unless we get a bit of an uptick soon, we're probably not going to get another trade just soon. So maybe we're going to end with this this webinar
Sure.
today, unless we go straight up from here. But it's demonstrated the point again, hasn't it, Ren, that this Excel model, which is available, there's a link below this video, so please follow that link. You'll be able to download this model for free. You'll be able to link it to the Rhythmic Trader Pro software, which is in the top left of the screen. And we're demonstrating this on a demo account. You'll be able to set up a demo account for 2 weeks. And you'll be able to test either the strategies that we've got, your own strategies, and see how you get on with some automated live trading using Excel.
So, Mark, do we have any guest questions right now that we can answer?
No, we haven't got any questions today. So,
all right,
let's leave it at that for today. It's been a good, interesting session. We've done a bit of chatting again, which I always enjoy. Anybody on the video, please feel free to ask any questions now. Otherwise, we're going to finish for the day. It does not look like we're going to get another long trade. If we get some sustained movement to the downside, we'll amend the spreadsheet and put in short trades. Shall we, Ren?
Sounds like a plan to me. Yeah, it sounds good, Mark. And we'll regroup. We're going to be back like a week from today, like about a week from today, right? Maybe
Yes, I'm not here next week, so it'll be the week after that. We'll regroup there. Hopefully we'll get some, at least I'm predicting, based on the seasonal patterns, we will hopefully see some market strength there. We'll hopefully get some good trades. We'll get some trades at least, I expect, and we'll be able to demonstrate the model further.
Well, I encourage everyone to download it and play around with it, and then maybe by next session we can have some questions and talk about anybody's questions.
Yeah, fire in some questions, any requests.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about further development? This is going to be a product before long. It's going to be out there. It's going to be commercially available for live trading in the real markets. At the moment, it's just for demo purposes, but it's there and it's fun to test, and you can try it out and see what you think.
Yep. All right, Mark. Well, thank you so much for hosting. This is great.
Yeah, thank you, Ren. Good to speak to you again, and I will look forward to speaking to you soon.
That sounds good. Take care.